Smartphones are effectively the ultimate spy tool. Back in the day, maybe even 10 years ago, if you wanted to surveil somebody or spy on somebody, you had to physically follow them or break into their house and plant a bug in their big old-fashioned phone or plant cameras. But these days, we seem to have voluntarily handed ourselves over to be spied on because we carry the most advanced spying device on the planet in our pocket. This thing, it contains all of our personal lives, our secrets, our emails, our credit card numbers. It's got a microphone, it's got a camera, it's got a GPS unit. So it's absolutely wonderful for tracking people. No technology is bulletproof, but the problem is that for the average user, they may not realize the insecurities of their phone. And to a large degree, they have betrayed us.
They're kind of beautiful, like these little devices that have so much power that is actually untapped. I don't think anything is secure, ever. There's so many possible ways, so many side channel attacks. I mean, for years, smartphones have been collecting all sorts of data about us that nobody knew. They're tracking us, they're tracking what we're doing. Is that good or bad? That's up to the person who's holding that device and whether they want that or not. The problem is a lot of people don't know that. A smartphone can jump onto any wireless network, and you're typically encouraged to jump onto wireless networks because you're often charged for your data plan. When you jump onto a network, you are forever bound to that network unless you delete it each time, which most people don't. Anywhere in the world you go, if someone can recreate that network, just the name, they don't need to know anything else. Just by creating that name, your phone will jump on, even if it's in your pocket, even if it's not open. The apps that are running in the background will start going over that network. So without you doing anything, your phone is now sending information through this potentially malicious network, and you don't even know.
It's effectively like you go to a party, you walk in, and you shout the name of every person you've ever met just in case they're there.
Now you're on my network. You're not actually at that coffee place. And once you're on my network, all of your traffic, everything that's going over the internet is now going through me. So I have the ability to monitor, I have the ability to change, adjust. No networks will be joined automatically. That's like the thing that I'm exploiting. Open up your browser, go to vice.com. It should look pretty normal for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part.
Except for now there's an article about Sammy's drones on the homepage of vice.com.
On a site that you trust, that you go to, that nothing else looks out of place. Unless I didn't make it so obvious, you would have just read another article and believed whatever information it said.
It's so seamlessly inserted too.
Absolutely.
It's very subtle. You have to actually read every headline to realize. Yeah, and this doesn't affect the actual website.
The actual website. That's not actually there.
Right. It's
just your phone and anyone else who's close by. The fact that this is still possible today and can be done in less than a minute, you could set up a network and start monitoring traffic. It blows my mind because you can do so much.
In Glenn Wilkinson's Snoopy hack, we see how drones can act as moving Wi-Fi networks in order to steal data from unsuspecting phones.
To describe Snoopy in a sentence, it's a distributed tracking, data interception, and profiling framework. Any device that you can run Linux on that has the appropriate antennas and hardware, you can run Snoopy on that device. They detect mobile devices that people are carrying. And when they detect them, they send all the data they receive back to some central server. When your mobile phone is looking for networks, say Starbucks, it's possible for Snoopy to answer and say, yes, I am Starbucks, why don't you connect to me? And then your mobile phone will connect to the device, to my Snoopy device, and all your traffic will go through it, effectively see what you're browsing, see what you're searching for, what images you're looking at. So if I have a bunch of Snoopy drones, these just little Snoopy devices deployed over, say, the whole of London, I can then track people as they move through London based on that unique identifier of their phone. We've got our aerial Snoopy units that we're going to fly over a few parks. It's a small computer. It's essentially the same, very similar hardware to a laptop. It's got a SIM card, so it's got 3G data to upload the data. It's got a GPS antenna to get a GPS fix, so we know where the data was collected. And this one's got a very small wireless card here. It runs Snoopy with the detecting people's Wi-Fi, and it uploads that data to my server in real time from the device. The UAV carries this device. So Snoopy is essentially software, and it can run on different hardware platforms. So effectively, for all of the kit, so the flying machine, the Snoopy, the cameras, you're looking at probably around, I'd say, maybe £1,000, $1,500, somewhere around there. Let's have a look at the data that we managed to collect in the park. 290 different devices we observed while this guy was flying around. All those little blips, each one the device that we observed at the park today. This is the networks they've previously connected to in their existence, those little brown blips. So for example, over here, this Apple device is previously connected to Cubby Hall, West 2 Lobby, Virgin Media Wi-Fi, and these two devices are looking for the Marriott lobby. But what we can do is try to geolocate those. So let's fetch the locations of those networks. This BT Home Hub here, this geolocates to essentially two possible locations. There we go. So that could be our volunteer's home there. We see the full address here. Can run this tool to essentially capture credentials, and here login.yahoo.com. So this device trying to log into Yahoo Mail, and we can fetch SSL strip data, and there we go. So we see a login and a password.
You can have the phone just be a launching point to use other technology around you. You can just cause havoc. Now that we have drones, some are controlled wirelessly, which can be hacked, and you can take over drones. Skyjack is basically a combination of software and hardware that I created to demonstrate some of the insecurities in drones. You can basically just use your phone to actually control the entire drone. There's no encryption on the network that you join. So you actually join on a network and you start controlling it. So what I created was this Skyjack. And Skyjack is a drone itself. And on the drone, I've mounted a small computer and a wireless chip that's capable of doing packet injection and monitor mode, where it can actually take over other connections. My drone can go fly around. It will automatically detect if there's any vulnerable drone around. And if it detects that over the Wi-Fi signal, it actually takes over the connection. It disconnects the actual owner, and then my drone takes over and sends commands to the new drone. Amazon said that they would actually be potentially using drones to deliver packages. Skyjack, essentially lets you reroute it.
In Sammy Kamkar's first ever Skyjack demonstration, we see how phones, instead of being hacking targets, control aerial hacks.
This will be the first real-life demonstration of Skyjack. So basically I'm installing a Raspberry Pi computer so that this can take over another wireless network, such as the Parrot drone. Essentially, it's just constantly detecting any parrots that are around us. So if there were, let's say, 3 or 4, they would all start to get controlled and then autonomously follow the actions that we have programmed. We have our Parrot drone here, which is the drone I'll be controlling. That will actually look for any Parrot drone around us and will take it over. When the iPad loses link, we can watch the video of the Parrot on here, and we can just see it sort of lose access, and we'll lose video and controls. The Skyjack drone, the white one, the Phantom, is looking for this one. When Skyjack takes over, we have it set up to do a flip. It's found the Wi-Fi connection of this drone, and once discovered, it's taken off the iPad that was controlling this and now flying it autonomously. Yeah, and this was had no control over that. Once Skyjack took over, it's another testament of just sort of how powerful the devices in our hands are. You can run the same software on an iPhone.
Everyone has a phone. Everyone carries their phone with them all the time. People don't realize that this is a device that can continuously record all of your surrounding sounds, not just when you're placing a phone call, but at any time. It's really a very attractive target for nation states and criminals to get access to.